Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, July 24, 2016, 3:41 a.m. in Birmingham. I want to re-verify something I told you a moment ago that is a fact. This started before 2000. In fact, there was more of it going on prior to 2000 than there was in 2008. A lot more. But in any case, it's still going on. And I'm talking about if you drive through any town, any interstate, and you go into a convenience store, about 60 to 70% of these that are not company owned are owned by men and women from India, men and women from Iran and Iraq. And I will, these three, I will point the stores out to you where they are. And it's not as prominent or as big today as it was in 2005, but a lot from Vietnam came here. Government gives them money. Here's what they started doing. You could have one man from India, you could have a man from Kuwait or Jordan, Syria, come over here, and the government would give them a $75,000 grant depending on the size of the store he purchased. And all he did with the $75,000 is just to buy the business. But then they need money to buy the inventory. They would get that money. And then, out of somebody's insane mind, after 2 years, as long as they gave that store or sold it to another of them, like a brother of an Indian, then they would get the same amount of money once again to help them get started in business. This is why you have so many foreigners running these convenience stores, and you can't understand a damn word they say. And a lot of people are walking. We don't like them. I don't like them. And I don't like them because they're over here taking our jobs. And the ones they're not taking, they're moving out, as I stated in BP Oil. They also took over Gulf Oil Corporation in 1979, and they had a 5-year and 2 4-year options to remain and carry the Gulf Oil flag. A lot of you remember this. And BP said clearly, any of you who chooses to keep your Gulf Oil flag up there can do so. I have pictures of the first custom wrecker I bought, and I designed it. I did well. I ended up with 6 stores, and I ended up with 4 wreckers. 3 of the 4 were customized, and they cost a lot of money. You know, we're talking about back in the early 80s, $58,000 for a wrecker. And today, the same wrecker being in the 70s and 80s. But in any case, I was doing well. And But when they started handing these stores out right and left to Iranians, to Jordanians, to Syrians, and they didn't need money, it became a snowball effect in the South, and then it hit later in the North. But BP lied to us about Gulf Oil Corporation. They took the flag down before 2 years was up. Remember, you had 5 years, had to stay, and then 2 4-year options. They stayed up 2 years, period. It was over. When the Gulf Oil flag came down, my business dropped by about 30%, and it took me years to build it back up. When they got it built back up, then BPO buys Amoco. But not only did they flag everyone Amoco almost immediately, I had 3 BP competitors like myself within 3 miles. In 2 years, I had 10 BP competitors within the same 3 miles, and 5 of those 10 were company op stores that they cannot compete against a dealer. Guess what? They did. And they put out about 30 to 40% of the dealers, put them out of business within the first 4 years of doing this. And then after that, I made it through to 2013. And I can't tell you the people that went into my store because I don't want to raise that right now. But it took that long to get me. I was strong. And it took me that long to build the business back. And then I took a job because the store self-contained. I mean, it take care of itself easily. And I used to build houses. I built 44 houses, Bridgewater Park subdivision, Hoover, Alabama. During that time, once I got rolling, I started one every 18 days. Wasn't but a 2-year job. When I came back, and I had a shop that I haven't closed to take this because this is very profitable to build these houses. When I came back, my business had gone to hell. That business lost 70% of the business, 70%. And when I handed it to a major oil company for them to lease it under their own guidance, they did not. Iranian got it, and the business is nothing today. And you need to hear when Trump tells you the businesses are run off, he's not only talking about Chevrolet building plants in Mexico. By the way, the sales are down sharply for all manufacturers that went to Mexico. They're kind of being boycotted for doing that, and they're losing sales. They have to come back. And of course, Obama sent them, but then Trump is going to make them pay for coming back, and they should. But we need to stop foreigners coming over here, getting these loans, grants that they do not have to pay back, and they'll get it every 2 years. I can swear to that before anybody, and I can prove it before anybody if anybody wants to know. I just can't do it this way. Jody with Expoz.